Hey, this is Murray Campbell for the Sprint Aid report, the video report, that is. Obviously, you know this because you're watching. Um, Hello! This week's been fun. Today, especially, has been fun. Uh, let's talk about it. We've just been working on the uh, audio system, like sounds, 2D and 3D in the engine using Fmod. Um, I've been thinking a lot about the documents. I think I should probably start writing down. Yeah, I should have done this long ago, but I've been actually just like focusing on the actual implementation of it because I'm uh, given like my research, and I suppose this is the case with a lot of these different systems when you're first implementing them. It's like you have all of these ways that people suggest implementing things, um, but they might be specific to certain libraries and things like that. I'm using Fmod, so I'm kind of like, it's not like trial and error, but I'm kind of like um, using my knowledge of certain patterns and just like general C++. I haven't had to use any design patterns yet for this, um, though I might if things get more complicated, but so far they haven't. Um, let's see. Yeah, I basically just had to, kind of figure it out as I go along. There are copious examples that Fmod provides for you to pick through. If like, and they're all just like, each one is just like a different sound subsystem that's like implemented in a really isolated sense. So I'm like going through some of these and picking out the ones that I need and putting them in. The basically the important thing to know about is that Fmod uses a system class that facilitates all of the settings and the playing of sounds and things like that. Um, I realized that you only really need one system per game to like facilitate all of this. So that's why I kind of wanted to have an audio manager that has the system, um, that also handles the loading and getting of sounds, um, and passes the system through to those. Basically, we have a sound class which basically wraps the Fmod sound class. And this sound class has a sound, it has a channel, and then pointers back to the system, um, like the Fmod system. And then we have the actual user defined sound classes. Here's sound base. This is the user will never use this. They'll use either sound 2D or sound 3D. Um, and these classes have a sound that they can access and use, and have various other functions depending on what they are to you know play a sound in 2D space or play a sound in 3D space. Um, I'm still kind of like working on 3D and figuring it out. I also should get like a nice little demo scene set up for it. But I've just been like implementing and such. Not much has changed on the actual game side. It's still the same scene, and the sound still plays. I just spent a lot of time this week cleaning up the internal system. So now the user's process is to essentially, if they want a sound, they will have a sound. They will own a sound, either sound 2D or sound 2D or sound 3D in a class, and in that class, they'll set it up in the constructor. Um, just using a new, it's a pointer to a sound that they get from, and then they get the sound. The sound class is basically taken a sound .h class object or whatever, and we get those from the audio manager. So that's how we use that here. And then using that, we can use whatever the Sound 2D or Sound 3D classes give us. So that's like setting volume, and that's done separately now, rather than on play. And then playing it is essentially as simple as telling it to play. So everything is handled internally for you when you do that, and that's really nice. You don't have to worry about juggling these weird sounds and systems and things like that. Just take a look at the class diagram, I guess. It's pretty self-explanatory, basically what I just described to you. Yeah. So that's what's been up this week. It's just been kind of like a slow, methodical, kind of like going through, looking at examples, looking at the Fmod website, thinking about what it is I'm trying to like implement and how to fit it into this new system, and if the system needs to change to facilitate this new aspect like 3D sound, then I change the system. And so far, like the system is like spread out as much as I need it to be. I added the sound bass class, and that really helped a lot too. So now, yeah, I don't know. I'm happy with where this is going. Just gotta, put some more time into it and see what we can do. But yeah, other than that, that's it. I think this week especially, I want to focus on just like getting my documentation back up to snuff. I ran out of my Atomineer trial, so I like need to figure out how to do that. Maybe I'll just like write my own briefs and stuff like that. Just need to get just need to do the documentation again, and actually do some writing on this system now that I've like had the chance to actually like get my feet wet with it. Oop. There's an alarm for something else. Basically just had the chance to get my feet wet with it, and had the chance to think about it and think about the various systems. So now I think I can really approach designing the entire system, and writing it all down and such. So that's where that is. As always, thanks. And I'll see you in class tomorrow.